So I have a couple of things, but the first thing I have a question about is time. Many years ago, I was going to school full-time and I was working full-time, and I had kids in a house. And I found that I had to really hyper-focus. But if I hyper-focused, it was almost like I could stop time. I could get so much work done in such a short period of time that other people who had plenty of time weren't getting my grades, they weren't getting the work done.
It's not just hyper-focus. It's not just focusing a lot. It's focusing in the direction of source, which gives you leverage and assistance from a whole lot of non-physical help. There is such leverage in that alignment. Esther always said to Jerry, I shine in a crisis. And he knew it. He witnessed it. And so he wanted to talk to us about that. And we said the crisis makes her focus, and the focus taps her in to leverage.
Okay, so it felt like time almost would slow down or stop.
Time is perceptual. Of course, because of the movement of your Earth in its orbit and the rising and the setting of the sun, of course, we are in agreement with you that there is day and there is night, and we understand how you want to turn that into days on your calendar and hours in your day. That's all a wonderful thing. That's one of the great benefits of this time-space reality. It causes you to focus. It just does, doesn't it? It causes you to focus. And focus is what creating is about. But when we say time is perceptual, we mean when you're tuned into the whole of who you are, you're looking at the whole of this in a whole different way. So when you're tuned into your inner being, you never have time shortage consciousness, because you're tuned into your inner being who understands how much leverage you have and how much power there is and how much wherewithal there is, how much ability to create there is, how much leeway there is in time. Where when you're feeling time shortage consciousness, now you've pinched yourself off from all of the advantages, and now there's never enough time. But here's the thing that we really want to get to, because we know this for sure, and you may remember it. It is so satisfying to make a decision and move in the direction of it. It's just so satisfying. But if you get into that bind where you say, I don't have enough time, so I don't get to do the fun things. I only have time to do the things I really need to do. And I don't have time to do the fun things. Now you're in time shortage consciousness. And now you don't have that leverage. Now you don't have all of that benefit. And now, most important and germane to this conversation, you're not feeling satisfaction. If we can convince you, just in these hours that we're together, the satisfaction is the key. That identifying what satisfaction feels like to you, noticing when it happens, so that you are identifying it and isolating it and practicing it a little bit when it sneaks up on you, and then looking for reasons to feel that way on a regular basis. In satisfaction, you will eliminate money shortage consciousness, you will eliminate time shortage consciousness, you will leave out of your vibration so many things that are resistant in nature that bog you down and keep you from the leverage that is so beneficial.
So when I felt the feeling that time is now moving really fast, even the children who usually would feel like time is dragging because they're waiting to grow up, even when they feel like time is moving faster, it's still the same thing, just in the opposite.
Esther has been wanting to slow time down. So she thought, maybe I'll try to see life through the eyes of Luke. He's 12. Because Esther remembers what you said, how slow time went. But time's not going slow for Luke. He's all tapped in, tuned in, turned on. So then she thought, well, to slow time down, I got to find some really miserable person. Focus there. See if I can bring some drudgery into this fast. And then she thought, wait a minute. If I am eternal, then why would I want to not eat up as much deliciousness in any moment in time as is possible? And actually what begins to happen is, as you really get tuned in, and you allow, therefore, because of your alignment, a consistent and therefore greater and greater momentum building moment and moment and moment, so that so many things are converging in each moment. It's going to be the fullness of time, not the length of it, that gets your attention. And it will begin to feel timeless, because your logic tells you for this much to happen, It should have taken way more time and way more involvement from way more people. As you start feeling the satisfaction of the leverage and the assistance and the clarity that you've tapped into, you won't be having a time discussion. It will be more like how much can I let in any moment in time? How many wonderful things could converge now and now and now and now? How many nice people could rendezvous with me in this segment of my life experience? How much bounce could I get from this? Or how much clarity could I get from this? Or how much love can I flow during this? In other words, your moments in time have so much more potential than any of you are allowing. But when you begin to see and be through the perspective of Source, who is timeless and limitless and who knows everything you want and who has the wherewithal to inspire you in perfect timing or rendezvous with things that thrill you, it won't be long before you won't be watching the calendar, you won't be counting the years. You will just be knocked over with how much deliciousness you get in a day. Something more?
Yes. The last few years, I realized that I wanted to end something that I've had for a long time.
You want to end it?
Well, not my life, but part of my life. So I kind of started really letting somebody know that I kind of wanted out. And by doing that, and I knew what I was doing, by doing that, just so they were aware of what I thought was going to come, I put a lot of resistance and lack in my vibration that previously I had gotten really good at. If I think something I don't like, just quickly switching my thought, I became really good at that. So things went really well for a long time. And then I had this revelation that I just kind of wanted out. And so I started thinking the thoughts that weren't at a very high vibration to try and get out.
We want to talk about those thought pathways again, because it's really interesting when you want this and you don't want this and you push against this, you just make the thought pathways more to that, don't you?
Yeah, no, I knew that it wasn't the right thing to do, really, even vibrationally. I knew it wasn't.
You're continuing the suffering. How come?
Well, now I'm kind of stuck because I did that for long enough that things I thought were going really well, and I started something that felt so good and I was so passionate about. And then shortly afterwards, I lost a job where I could work from anywhere. And so then I kind of tried, I really started listening.
No, you've been listening, but have you been hearing?
I've been trying. Just say
today.
Happy, yes.
Today.
Yes, I have been.
What do you do when you're in a spot that you don't want to be and you can't get your attention off that spot?
You look for something satisfying and positive.
But what if you can't do that? What if law of attraction has got so hold of you that even though you're here in an environment like this, you still are talking about that? What do you do? What do you do when you can't stop talking about it? What do you do?
Shut up.
What do you do when law of attraction won't let you shut up? What do you do?
Meditate.
Go general. Go general is the best thing to do if you can't take a nap. Or go general is the best thing that you can do if you don't have an opportunity to meditate. But how are you going to slow that momentum? Because it's not going to happen. You say that, we say this, 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 and no improvement in your vibration happens, and we're really good at this. You've got to find some way of giving that a rest. And you know what's really working in your favor? You just said to us, what I didn't work, and I know it didn't work. And so you're sort of in this place of resolution to do something different than that. This is a really serious question that we're asking you. If law of attraction has got hold of you on an issue, and it does, and so every time you get anywhere near it, music makes you think about it, somebody else is saying something about it, every television program points right at it, even the television commercials point at it. You walk down the street and strangers remind you about it. In other words, it's everywhere. It's in the atmosphere everywhere because law of attraction is so good. Law of attraction will keep feeding back to you what's in your vibrational pipeline. It just will. What is the logical resolution of that? I'm going to set aside deliberately 15 or 20 minutes every single day where law of attraction doesn't have access to that activity within my vibration because I'm shutting it all down. Not just that, I'm shutting it all down. The good and the bad and the ugly. I'm shutting it all down. I'm not going to think about that thing I'm thinking about. Oh. Do you meditate?
Yes. Yes, and I've been trying to get back into doing that regularly again.
I have meditated, but I haven't been meditating lately.
Not as often as I should.
I don't meditate. I don't use this tool, but it's a tool that I understand, and it's a tool that I will use. And I understand that when I find something to focus on, really? Something to focus on, really? Can you focus? You are like a dog on a bone. You are one of the best focusers ever. You focus, so you surely can focus on the
air conditioner, the silence.
But is there silence?
If you listen.
Hear it? It's not silent. You hear the air conditioner? Do you? Wasn't easy, was it? Gotta listen. Not them. They're making noise back there. Chewing gum. Unnecessary laughter. More unnecessary laughter. More unnecessary laughter. You have to isolate that sound. You have to identify it and isolate it, and that takes focus. Identify it and isolate it. Listen to it. Notice it. That takes focus. Listen to it. Are you hearing it more now that you're listening for it? Yes. So that's all. Just do that. Just do that. Life is isolating what's satisfying in a noisy, unsatisfying world. That's what it is. As you identify it and isolate it and focus on it. And when you focus on something as insignificant and boring, you're not thinking thoughts like, that's not a very good air conditioner sound. I've heard better. There's no judgment. There's no vibrational legacy. That air conditioner is not going to push your buttons. It's not going to yank your chain. It is a neutral thought that when you focus upon it, it's going to allow you to quiet your mind. And when you quiet your mind, your inner resources become dominant. And your vibration will, the first day probably, second day more, third day more, the vibration of your being will rise to the equivalency of your inner being. And you will turn the vibrational corner. Your vibrational point of attraction has shifted. So now, even though law of attraction is still standing by, ready to jump on board anything you think about, it's less likely that you'll go there. You will go there because you don't stop any of those thoughts cold turkey. But tomorrow, you're going to meditate again. And tomorrow, you're going to isolate that air conditioner even more. And tomorrow, your vibration is going to rise and you're going to tune in to the frequency of who you are. And your point of attraction is going to shift even more. And you're going to become increasingly, with every day of meditation, it is our promise to you, more of a vibrational match to the things that are in your vortex. And so this is carving out the path, carving out the path, carving out the path. You meeting your inner being halfway? No, you don't have to meet your inner being halfway. Your inner being has come 99% of the way. You only have to meet your inner being 1 to 99%. Your inner being is so powerful and so clear, and there is so much of you that is rooted in that. It is so much more natural for you to go that way than for you to go that way. It's not a difficult thing to do, but you have to do it. You have to do it. You can't say, yeah, I meditate, or I mean to meditate, or I'm going to meditate. You got to quiet your mind if you want the momentum to subside. Then you get to witness the changes. Then you get to feel the satisfaction of the changes that you're witnessing. Then you get to start feeling worthy again, which you haven't done since the day you were born nearly. It's true of most of you too. Good enough?
Yes, thank you.